Greetings everybody, people call me Iggy for some reason, and welcome to Let's Play Contra. Welcome to Let's Play Probotector. Welcome to Let's Play Grisor. So Grisor, in this case, is the original Japanese version of the game translated into English. It actually was called Contra in Japan, as far as I'm aware. I could play the US or European versions, but this one has a few things extra. For one, we have an entire new introduction. This is not in the American or European versions at all. It tells a little bit about the story. It's maybe a tiny little bit different from what we already know, but it still boils down to aliens came from space and we need to shoot them because we can. Our protagonists' names in this case are Bill and Lance, as opposed to Mad Dog and Scorpion, or Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone, or Blue Pants Man and Red Pants Man, or Grey Robot and Blue Robot. No, we have the names they originally were supposed to have. And now the big twist comes. They became the Grisor! Grisor is also the name of the original arcade game that Contra was later based on. And here we have a map screen. But neither that nor the introduction actually add much to the game, so I'm not too mad that they're missing from the other versions. And hey, look at that! First level. It's a jungle, alright? And in case you didn't know already, let me teach you how to play the game. First, hold right. Then, push the fire button, and occasionally jump as the situation demands it. We can also pick up weapon power-ups. The R that we just picked up stands for rapid fire, and it will make our shots move faster, and you can have more of them on the same screen. Now the S we picked up is the spread gun. It's the I win button. See, we already won. We don't have to worry about anything anymore ever. We could just stop playing at this point if we felt like it, but that would be boring, don't you think? But yeah, the game has very few things I would consider dick moves. In fact, it has none except in one of the later levels, but we'll come to that eventually. And even though people hail this game as really hard, the first Contra actually really isn't. It gets increasingly harder the further the series progresses, but the first two games actually aren't that hard. And the first boss isn't hard either. Take out the guy on top, then the both cannons, and finally, do this. These cutscenes here don't offer us any insight into the minds of our protagonists. They also don't provide exciting twists. They're just there. But hey, on to the next level now. It's the first of two base levels, and they have, let's just say they have a gimmick. And you can see that gimmick right here actually. We now have a fake 3D perspective, and instead of going from left to right, we are going into the screen. Oh, trippy. Anyway, our goal on each room is to shoot that little blue orb to actually open the gate and progress. Now, the main problem in this area are grenade throwing dudes, which we haven't encountered yet. Because you see, you can actually duck under all enemy projectiles except grenades. So the only reason to ever get up is to dodge a grenade. It's best to just shoot the grenade throwers as soon as you see them. You can spot them because they move a little bit more slowly than the other guys. And they tend to stop occasionally as well. And sometimes they also don't. So, in general, just be on the lookout. And the boss of this level, if you know how to do it, isn't actually hard either. You could just stand under them and shoot as long as you are slightly to the right of the right gun and slightly left of the left gun. They can't hit you. But you should destroy both of the guns before you actually destroy the cores, because that way you won't have to deal with the boss and the gun at the same time, and oh crap, the boss is already dead. It is fairly easy after all. It just shoots those blue rings. In the European version they're red rings for some reason. And they move very slowly and you can shoot them. So it doesn't really pose much of a threat. Time for one more, I guess. And once more the game will force us to think a little bit differently. The first level was the plain side-scrolling level, the second one was a fake 3D level, and this one is a vertical one. The game does a really good job of introducing a new spin on each level, though the first one are the most distinct ones. Personally, I think that the vertical level would have been a little bit better later in the game, because yeah, it's different enough to make it more powerful later on. But that's just my personal opinion. Difficulty-wise, this level as it exists right here fits best here though, because it's still not one of the harder levels. Personally, I think that the game doesn't really get that hard anyway, but that might just be because I played it a lot. I mentioned that the game has no bullshit moves, but again, this is just my own subjective perception of all, because I played the game a lot as a kid and even now. So some things people might consider dick moves might simply elude me, because I know how to deal with it instinctively. What a few people might not know how to deal with are those mortar guys that are hiding in the waterfall, but we're already past them. The trick to them is to be above them and shoot down as you jump up, because they only, well, come out of their hiding spot once the screen has scrolled far up enough. And as I say this, we're already past the waterfall part of the waterfall level, and we are heading on to the boss of this area. And here we are. This boss is still fairly simple though, it can't catch one off guard. It will fling its two arms around randomly, and occasionally they will also shoot a projectile, but there isn't really any tell for when they will do that. And sometimes the arm will simply be drawn to the player, and eventually it'll also shoot, but it's a good opportunity to actually get a few hits in and destroy them. Once both arms are destroyed, you can take out the middle part relatively easy. Just stand there where the pipes are and shoot up, and you can hit him even with a pea shooter. And not take any damage at all. But hey, he's long dead. He went down rather quickly, as is usual for things in Contra if you know how to deal with them or have the spread gun or both. But yes, those were the first 3 levels of Contra, and I hope you enjoyed this little episode. And I do hope, of course, to see you again next time.